Well, there's no traffic today.
Yeah, yesterday was...
Yeah, usually this time in the morning is pretty bad. But Terminal 1 is great because even if there's traffic, you get there pretty soon. Alright, thank you.
Thank you to everybody.
Thanks.
Get to the restroom or get up and stretch, but we want to get going. It's a long flight going back, so if you're using the restroom, if we can please hurry up. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard Alaska Airlines Flight 355, services Seattle. My name is Dutch. I get the pleasure of working with Jason in the front office today. He tells me it's a quick 5 hours and 82 minutes takeoff to touchdown today to Seattle. That being said, he also tells me it's going to be smooth for about the first hour, and then until we get from western Arkansas through Colorado, we could have some bumps. That being mentioned, took us about 30 minutes to get everybody on board the airplane today. It'll take about 20 minutes to get everybody off once we get into Seattle. In the highly unlikely event we have to make an emergency evacuation, we have 90 seconds to get everybody off. So how do we do that? You leave everything you brought on this airplane behind. Everything you brought on this airplane can be replaced, but what I cannot replace are the people around you. So please, follow my flight attendant's instructions.
Well, good morning, everyone. Jumping on the mic here. Hopefully you can hear me and the engine isn't too loud. Because sometimes when I record during takeoff or landing, the engine noise drowns out the mic, even though this mic is supposed to focus on only the sound that's close to it. This was oh, we're lifting off pretty quickly. We're about 27 seconds into our takeoff run. 29. Here we go. Usually between 30 and 40 seconds is a normal takeoff run. Ooh, a little bit windy today. And actually, I'm realizing we're taking off towards the west, which is uncommon. Most of my takeoffs out of Fort Lauderdale are towards the east, out over the ocean. So that means we're going to go right over the Hard Rock Hotel here in a second. This is why it's always good to sit on the left side of the plane out of Fort Lauderdale. If you go over the ocean, you make a left turn, you get amazing views of the cruise port, the Fort Lauderdale beaches, downtown Fort Lauderdale. But if you take off the other way, you get this view right there of the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel, which I'm planning to do a 2-night stay there soon and then feature it on my channel because it's really a pretty amazing hotel. I'm going to stay right there in the guitar part of it. So as you can see, it's a pretty cloudy and rainy morning here in Fort Lauderdale. And actually I just looked at the weather and it's supposed to be pretty rainy the 2 days I'm in Seattle. So I have my umbrella packed in my suitcase. Excuse me. I have some, I found a really amazing umbrella at Target a couple years ago. It's a double canopy, but it's small, so it can fold up nicely and easily and fit in a bag and even in my backpack. But it's a really sturdy, really strong umbrella. And when you open it, it's really big umbrella. And because it's a double canopy, it handles winds really well. So I bought 3 of them at the time because when I find a good umbrella, they were like almost $30 a piece too. When I find a good umbrella, I want to have extras. I have one for my car, one for travel, and then one right inside my house. And it also had a lifetime warranty, and one of them actually broke like a year ago. So I sent in a picture of it and the receipt, and they just mailed me a new one, a brand new one. So that was nice. But I'm always prepared when I travel. I always have an umbrella either in my backpack or bag because I don't want to have to buy an umbrella when I'm on my travels. And now down there you can just see, that looks like that is 75 there, which goes across the state. But you can just see the Everglades coming into view. So, as the captain and flight attendants mentioned earlier, this is a long flight. 6 hours, 22 minutes. Probably the longest domestic flight, maybe Boston to LA is about as long. I mean, the longest domestic flight that you can do without leaving the 48 states. But it appears that we have a pretty strong headwind today because I've done this flight before where it was around 5.5 hours, 5 hours, 40 minutes. So I think this morning we've got some pretty strong winds that are going to slow us down. I have to say the Everglades are really something special. They're really beautiful, and I've never done the alligator tour, the Everglades tour. My family and relatives did it once when they were visiting me in South Florida, and I couldn't go with them on that day because I had another commitment. So every time I fly over the Everglades, it reminds me, I need to book that tour and do it. I'm always traveling and doing fun things at other places, but I haven't yet done all the fun things to do in South Florida. And if you visit South Florida, that's a tour you should definitely do. Now check this out. This is always such a beautiful sight when you pop through the clouds. And you got those beautiful white puffy clouds as you climb up to your cruising altitude. I'm hoping, because earlier the captain announced that we're going to have about an hour of a smooth ride, and then it's going to get bumpy. So hopefully we'll all be able to get our breakfast before it gets too bumpy. I pre-ordered some kind of pancakes. There was one item that had cheese, so I was like, I can't do that. And then the other menu items didn't seem very interesting to me. So I think it was like a maple bacon pancakes. It looked really good. Alright, let's talk about the Atmos Rewards program for a second, because as you know, Hawaiian and Alaska Airlines merged, and this is their new loyalty program. I had a lot of miles in both. I had a lot of Hawaiian miles and a lot of Alaska miles, so now I have, I think, somewhere around 250,000 Atmos Rewards points. These are their 2 credit cards. I didn't get one of these yet. I might, but I'm not sure, because I've been getting other credit cards for programs that I need points in more than this one, since I have so many here. I do want to use my Atmos points to fly first class on Qantas Airbus 380, maybe from from Sydney to Singapore. So, we'll see. Because I also have a lot of Amex and Capital One and Chase points, so I want to try to book Etihad, the Residence too, on their 380. So that'll be a fun trip. Maybe I'll do that one from Singapore to Abu Dhabi. But if you don't have one of these cards yet, and you do want to get some Atmos points, I would definitely recommend getting one. And they've got a pretty good sign-up bonus. Oh, I forgot to show you this earlier. There is a footrest here in the first class seat, which I never really use these because I'm really tall. I'm 6'2". So in order for me to use it, I kind of have to be a little bit cramped. So it's always more comfortable for me to have my feet if I want to stretch out like that. But on a flight like this, if I really want to sleep, I'll usually go back to economy and see if there's an empty row of 3 seats. If there is, I might just take a nap there for like an hour, because I cannot sleep comfortably even in a recliner first class seat. I have to lie down. right, here is the breakfast that just arrived. That coffee muffin or coffee bread, whatever it was really delicious. So I like this as a mix of healthy. There's some healthy fruit, granola, and then some Greek yogurt. And the pancakes look really delicious. I think that's bacon. Yeah, it looks like bacon. And then there is some maple syrup there. So I will let you know in the captions how yummy or not yummy it is. But it looks really yummy. So I'm quite sure it's going to taste yummy. Alright everyone, welcome back. Going back on the mic here for our descent into Seattle and our landing. We just now got to where there are some buildings and houses down there. Flew over the mountains as you saw a minute ago. That made me really want to go skiing. I can't wait to get out and ski after seeing that. We were actually planning to go skiing. I was going to go skiing with my nephews and sister and her husband, but at Mount Shasta, but it's going to be too warm. We were hoping it'd be cold enough, but it's not going to be open yet, so I'll have to do that another time. I just noticed that you can see the mountains just barely off in the distance there. And I'm trying to figure out what way we're coming in for the approach here to see if we might get a view of downtown Seattle. Should know pretty soon. Now we're making a pretty sharp turn, so it appears we flew north of the airport and then are turning around to land towards the south. And I have to say, all the times that I've flown into Seattle, that's pretty much always been our approach. These clouds are really beautiful. There's like several layers of them. They're soft, puffy clouds, and you can see a few different layers at different levels, at different altitudes. Feels like we're floating. Thank you for joining me on another really fun but really long flight. 6 hours, 22 minutes, Fort Lauderdale to Seattle. I've flown this route quite a few times, and usually it clocks in around 5 hours, 40 minutes, upwards to maybe 6 hours. So we had a really, really strong headwind today, which made this flight so long. I've actually flown New York to London faster than this flight. If you get a really good tailwind on the New York to London flight, ooh, that looks like that is, that might be Boeing Field. That is Boeing Field. Oh, look at the planes. Check that out. All those planes sitting there waiting for delivery. This is a tour. I have done that tour. I have. Sorry, I dropped the mic twice. I was being rather clumsy. I actually have done that tour there, and my brother, when he was in flight school, actually took us flying out of that airport. We took off out of Boeing Field and then went flying over the mountains, over Bill Gates' house. We flew over SeaTac. He got permission to fly, and we flew right over SeaTac. It was a really fun 2-hour flight. We did like a half landing, or I think at least one, maybe it was 2 of them at different airports up here in the Northwest as well. But the other Boeing factory, I definitely want to go and do a tour sometime. So thanks again for joining on a really fun flight. Alaska Airlines first class is a really strong product. The domestic first class, you can really feel the legroom. Oh, look at those beautiful fall colors. It's a lot more legroom than American, Delta, or United in first class domestic. But I'm actually really interested the next time I do this route, whether I'm flying Delta or Alaska. Because if you fly from Fort Lauderdale, it's those 2 options. Delta and Alaska fly this route nonstop. And they both do also out of Miami, and then American also has a nonstop flight to Seattle out of Miami. But I'm interested to do this. Instead of purchasing a first class ticket, purchasing 3 seats in the back, which would definitely be less than a first class ticket and make it possible to stretch out and sleep more easily. So next time I fly this route, I'm going to try that, and then I'll let you know how that goes. Also, I want to point out that what I mentioned about buying 3 seats in economy, I've done this before. I haven't done that. I've bought 2, so I have a guaranteed middle seat. I hate doing it if I get on the plane and then it's not full and I realize I didn't have to pay but that's never happened. I'm always pretty good at looking at the seat maps and the inventory and what the fares are and making a good judgment whether the plane's going to be full or not. So anytime I've done that, I've been happy I did, because the flight was absolutely sold out and I got a guaranteed empty middle seat. So gonna try that on the next time I fly up here, the same route, either Delta or Alaska, because especially if you get the tickets for like a decent price, 120 or 30 round trip, that's about half of what first class costs. And actually I would prefer that, because then I can lie down and sleep comfortably on the flight. So stay tuned for that feature review.